Hey, good afternoon, everyone. So we have another info session today for our bootcamp, which will start on November 26th. So next Sunday, we have one more week. Even though it looks like it's a lot, 1 week, but it's good for you if you decide to do it. If you want to do the bootcamp, it's good for you to decide about it and to start preparing for it, because the more you prepare before it starts, it will be the easier for you, especially the first month. So my name is Elion Limanai, and I've been a software developer for almost 20 years right now. And I feel old when I say that. So we have our software testing bootcamp, upcoming bootcamp, which will start on November 26th. We're going to explain today all the information about the bootcamp. If you have any questions, you can ask your questions. We're going to invite our ex-students. She is an alumni right now. She is working as a QA engineer, and she will share her experience with you. And of course, while she's there, you can ask your questions to her, and then you get all the information that you need about the bootcamp and to make a good decision. Okay, so let's start with, as we always talk about the IT in general. So why should we consider a career in IT? It is because IT is one of the most growing, let's say, fields. The higher the salaries are going high. We saw during COVID that a lot of people, they lost their jobs, but people who were in the IT industry, they were able to even get better jobs or to be hired during that time. During COVID, we had our bootcamp, and a lot of students, they just joined the bootcamp from home. They learned the tools, and then they were able to start working as in the IT industry. So when we talk about IT, of course, IT industry is very broad. So there are a lot of different areas in the IT, but our bootcamp concentrates, right? Our bootcamp is software testing and concentrates only on the software testing part of the IT. Because when we talk about IT, we have software developers that are the people that develop a software. We have DevOps engineer, we have cybersecurity, we have network engineers, you have database architects, and different kind of areas. And software testing is one of the areas in the IT industry, and it's, I can say, one of the easiest ways to get in the IT industry. After that, you can, of course, if you want to learn more, if you want to switch to different areas, you can switch easily. But this is, let's say, the first step, I would guess, for people who have no background, for people who don't have any information IT. This one is one of the easiest way to learn about let's say, to learn about software testing and to find a job there. So as I said, IT industry is very broad. I'm gonna come up with a joke. So every time when I talk to my relatives, my sister, my family, they ask me, oh, so you are a software engineer? I say, yes. Okay, do you know how to fix a computer? I'm like, fixing a computer is something else. Developing a software is something else. Dealing with a network is something else. Cybersecurity is something else. So I know one part of the IT. I don't know everything. Of course, I have an idea about it because I graduated from the, let's say, computer science. But of course, like, knowing everything is impossible. So as I said, software testing is one of the easiest ways to get to let's say, to start working as a software tester. The salaries are high, so it's here we say 90 plus, but of course the range, we can say, like, let's give a broader range, which is between 80,000 and 130,000 yearly. When you become a software tester, what is a software tester? Is part of the software development team. So a company, any company that is creating a software, so let's say Twitter is a software, Uber is a software, Facebook is a software, Chase Bank is a software. All these different softwares that we are using are created by software developers. But software developers, it's easy for them to make mistakes because we are human beings, and whenever we create something, we might break something else. So software testers are those individuals, are those people which are part of the team, which are able to find the problems, to find the bugs in the software before we make an update. So let us suppose that our company, let's say we work, if you see your phone also, right, you have those mobile applications, which once in a while there are different updates there, and before the update comes, they want to make sure that everything will be fine, everything will be fixed. If something goes wrong, they'll fix it in the next update. So software testers are those people that make sure that the quality of the software is fine. So they are able, they should find the problems before it goes to the customer, And if they find the problem, they don't need to fix the problem. Their job is just to find it and to report it. And then the developers are the ones which will, right, fix the problem. After the problem is fixed, the software tester, again, they test the software, they make sure that everything is fine, and then they give the okay to the release, to the update of the software. So there are a lot of companies which accept you working from home. So of course, this one depends on the company. During COVID, like I could say, like 90% of the companies, they were working from home. As of right now, maybe 50%. Of course, these are just general random numbers, but there are a lot of companies that still working from home. But there are some companies that want you to join, to go to the office. And there are a lot of companies that they want you to work hybrid, just going once or twice a week to the company, and the rest you can work from home. So depending on the company and depending on the contract that you make with them. As I said, software testing, no IT background is required. So that's an easy way, let's say, to get started working in the IT industry. But of course, you have to take the bootcamp seriously. You have to work, to study hard, and then to learn those tools, so that at the end of the bootcamp, you'll be able to land a job and to go to the interviews and to be able to, let's say, get an offer from the companies. So now, in general, guys, what is a bootcamp? A bootcamp is an alternative to the 4 years college. So a lot of people, they have, let's say, their college degree, but they maybe are not able to work in their field, or maybe they came from a different country here to United States, and of course, working here, for example, as a nurse, as a lawyer, or as a doctor, or as a teacher, you need some certificates, right? You need, first of all, sometimes they might need you to have a perfect English, depending on the profession, and then also most of them, they want you to have a, let's say, what is it called, like a certificate or something. But when it comes to the IT, the good thing is that as long as you can do now, of course, there are some companies that might require you to have a bachelor degree or something, but most of them, they don't care. As long as you're able to do the job, as long as you're able to do the tasks, they don't mind if you have a background, or if you have an let's say bachelor degree in IT or not. So the boot camps, right, they teach you these tools very quickly, very fast, in 6 months or 7 months or 9 months, depending on the bootcamp, depending on what you're trying to learn. And it's an alternative way. So this way you learn those tools and you start working. So what is the difference between a bootcamp and a college? The college, it teaches you a lot of things. So you have to spend a lot of money. That's the first thing. And it takes 4 years, right, to graduate, because they teach you a lot of things that maybe you'll never use it in the industry. But when you talk about a bootcamp in general, boot camps, they teach you only those things that you will need in that field, in that profession. Okay, so of course, right, you're going to learn during our boot camp, you're going to learn all the technical tools, and then programming language and coding and all the tools that you need in this industry. And of course, as I said, we are only concentrated on the career. So we don't teach things that you're never going to use, but only those things that you need as a software tester. And our primary goal is for you to be prepared, so that at the end of the bootcamp, you're able to land a job and to get an offer. So other alternative careers, right? So we call this one software tester, which is an easy name, but of course, another way to look for jobs, because these are different titles which you can look for a job at the end. Software development engineer and test, or SDET, that's another name. Automation test engineer, this is another name. Quality assurance engineer, or QA engineer, is another name. Software tester, quality analyst, and sometimes in some companies they can also hire you as a test lead, which is a person which has a group of testers and they lead the group. So what is expected from you to do? So as I said, our boot camp starts on November 26th, which is 1 week from now. To start the boot camp, you don't need any IT background. So we have 99% of our students, they don't have any IT background. They don't have any information. Of course, they know how to use a computer, but they don't have any information about programming, about computer science in general. So they come with no IT background to the boot camp. But of course, in 6 months, they learn everything that need in the field. They learn all the tools one by one. And then also we do a couple of projects with them, so that they work in projects in group with other people. They work in individual projects. And of course, every week, right, we have classes and we have tasks and homeworks that we share with the students. At the end of the 6 months, then you earn one of these titles. You'll start looking for a job in one of these fields here, right? Software development engineering test, or quality engineer, quality assurance engineer, or software tester. As I said, the salary range is between 80 and 130. So most of our students, their job, right? Most of our students, they find a job with 100 and plus K. And also there are also students that also went beyond 130, but these are rare cases. So this is the general range of the jobs that the students, they find a job. So I mentioned that there is no IT background required to start the bootcamp, but of course you need to have a work authorization in the United States. So this bootcamp, right, is for United States, for Canada, and also for Europe. So if you are in the United States, guys, and if you join the bootcamp from the United States, you need to have a valid work authorization here. If you are in Canada, you need to have a work authorization there. If you're going to join to the bootcamp from Europe, then you have to have the work authorization there. So we help you learn the tools, we help you find a job, but unfortunately we cannot help you with the visa status if you are, right, if you don't have a correct status in whatever country you are looking for. And of course also, if any of you is in the process, because in the previous info session I got a question like that, I am in the process of getting a green card, and I will have my green card, let's say, in 2 months or so. Of course, you can start the bootcamp as long as at the end of the bootcamp you'll have a valid authorization, because at the end you're going to look for jobs, and we don't need your work authorization, but the companies need it. So at the end, right, those companies will be able to hire you only if you have a valid work authorization. So as I said, you learn about software testing is one of the easiest way to start a career in IT. But of course, later on, right, you can switch to other careers, right? So after you learn these tools, after you work as a software tester for a couple of years, then you can learn more. You can switch. You can become a software developer. You can become a project manager. You can become a cybersecurity analyst. So you can learn some small extra skills, and then you can jump to other fields in the IT, right? It's easy for you. So as I said, when you learn about these things, you are a tester. You can test front end, you can test back end, and our students, they when they graduate from the bootcamp, they apply for jobs as full stack tester. And of course, there are maybe some technical terms that you might not know as of right now, but of course, I need to explain for you to know that what you're signing for. So if you decide to do this bootcamp, you know what you're looking for and what you're getting from there. So how is the flow of our bootcamp? So we teach you manual testing. What is manual testing? You are testing manually by clicking, by using the mouse, by using the keyboard, right? As a normal user, you're testing different things from the software. And only by knowing software testing, right, or manual testing, let's say, you can work as a manual tester in the companies. But manual testers are generally paid less. They are around $70,000, $80,000 a year. And of course, now more and more the companies are looking for automation testers. So what is automation tester? Are these people, they know manual testing, but also know writing a code, writing a script, which will automatically test the software. So that's why after teaching, or let's say besides teaching manual testing, we also teach coding and programming. We teach Java programming languages, which is one of the strongest programming languages. And our students, they learn about Java. They learn 3 months. The first 3 months, they learn Java. And after that, they learn the other tools. They learn Selenium, TestNG, and Cucumber, which are automation tester, right? Which is front test testing. Then also, right, as I said, after you're done with this part here, guys, you can apply for jobs as front test tester. We give a big project to the students, and then after that, they can also apply as a front test tester. But we don't stop there. We continue teaching 1 more month. We teach the backend part, or database and API. So I'm saying these things, guys, and you can go to Google and you can search about this terminology. Those are the things that are used in the industry. So as a software tester, you need to know front-end testing, but also you need to know database and API, which is backend testing. And by knowing both of them, you are even more powerful. You are called full stack tester, because you can test the front part and the back part of the software. So generally, to explain the difference between front end and back end, we give the example of a restaurant. So let us suppose in a restaurant, you have you go to the restaurant and you have the waiter. So you don't go to the kitchen, right? So some manager might only manage the the waiters, which are serving. Some manager might manage only the back part, which is the kitchen, right? So the cook there. But there might be a manager which knows both of the parts, and he can manage both parts of the restaurant. So the same thing is it also for the software. So after we're done with these parts, guys, so you're ready to go and to look for a job as a software tester. So also we teach during the bootcamp, we teach you about how to build your resume. We prepare you for the interviews. We teach you about the market, where to apply, how to apply, so that, right, you are able to land the job at the end. So after this part, guys, you start looking for a job and you are in the market looking, like going to interviews, having interviews with recruiters, with the companies. During this part, we have our team, which is our experts of career placement. So those people help you with, even after you find a job, right? Even after you find a job, we teach you how to negotiate for the salary. Let's say sometimes we had a lot of students, we got multiple offers, 2 offers, 3 offers, and then in one company they get 100,000, which is a full-time job. In another company, you get $60 per hour, which is a contractual job. And we teach them which is better, why is better, and which one to pick. So we help the students even during the part when they're looking for a job, and even when they get offers, how to, let's say, how to maximize their benefits. Why do we do it? It is because we want our students to be successful, because also, I'm going to explain you at the part of the payment, we also split the payments in 2 parts. One part is the part during the bootcamp, and the second part is the part only after you find the job, because we want to share the risk, right? Because we are very, let's say, confident in our teaching, and we know that if you take it seriously, you will be able to find a job at the end. So how will you learn? How is our teaching style, and how are you going to learn during the bootcamp? You're going to learn, right? The classes will be live. As of right now, I'm doing something here, a Zoom presentation, and the same thing will be the classes. We're going to teach step by step how coding is done. Of course, I am one of the instructors. I'm the lead instructor, which I prepared the curriculum and I helped everything. But of course, there are a lot of instructors there. They are teaching the classes because we have a lot of classes during the week. So the class will be live. During that time, you can ask questions. So we have a platform where you can ask your questions, even though you're at home, you're watching there, and you can ask your question to the teacher if you don't understand something, if you want him to repeat something or stuff like that. We're going to give you individual projects. We're going to give you group project to use, so that you are, right, so that you're able to learn these skills and to practice those skills. We also have extra hours, which are called office hours. So one of our instructors during the day, let's say Monday at 1 p.m. and Tuesday during 6 p.m. If you don't understand anything, you can come to this office hours, and you can, right, in small groups, you can ask questions to our instructors if you fall behind the group. As I said, we're going to give homeworks and tasks every class to you to make sure that you're practicing whatever you're learning. After each topic, we're going to give you quizzes to see if you're learning, if you're good. So with that case, you see also for yourself if you're learning the tools. We have mentor sessions. So mentor sessions, we're proud of this one. We have something special. We have, let's say, in our bootcamp, we have 100 students, and we group them in 10 groups, and each group, a group of 10 students, and in each group, they have a mentor. So we do this one after 3 months, after they learn something. And this mentor, once a week, he meets with them. These mentors are people who have graduated from the bootcamp 3-5 years ago. They have been working as a software testers for years now, and they share their experience with the students. They teach them how to, right, what are the tools that are used, how to talk, how to communicate with the team, and in the interviews and everything. Okay, so this is very important. The mentor sessions, which our experienced software testers, they share the experience with small groups every week. Besides, of course, these are besides the classes. We give coding challenges. We use a Replit tool. At the end, we give them final assessment, which also call it a mock interview. So after all the classes, guys, after everything is done, before they start applying for jobs, we do the one-on-one interview, mock interview with our students. So let's say one of our instructors, one of our mentors, he is interviewing, or she is interviewing the student. He's asking everything about the background of the student. What is this tool? What is your project? What is your framework that you have used? All these things that we learned during the bootcamp, we teach them, and then at the end, they do the interview. If the student passes our interview, it means that they're ready for the market, they're ready to apply for the jobs, and we give the okay, and they can apply for a job. If they have difficulties in some parts of the topics, we give them feedback and you say, you know what, study a little bit more about SQL, study a little bit more about Selenium, because you're not there yet. So you have to work a little bit harder. And then in a couple of weeks to do another mock interview with a student to make sure that he's ready. And after that, we help them with preparing the resume, and then they start applying for jobs in the field. So these are the tools that we teach in the bootcamp, guys. So I know that there are a lot of tools here, and I don't want you to be scared, but Java, as I mentioned earlier, is the most important tool of the bootcamp. The first 3 months, we teach Java as a technical, right? We teach Java so that they learn about programming. Why? Because on top of Java, they're going to start using Selenium. What is Selenium? Selenium is a tool which helps you opening the Chrome browser, sending commands there. And as I said, right, you write your scripts, and with your scripts, you're able to do those things, right? Those tests in the browser. We teach you about JUnit, right? We teach you about Rest Assured, which is Rest Assured and Postman are the API testing. We teach about TestNG and Cucumber, which are testing frameworks. We teach about Git, which is how to collaborate with the friends in the which are working in the same project. And we teach you about MySQL, which is database, right? And also the library, right? The Java library for SQL, JDBC library to test the database. And as I said, these are technical terms, guys, but this, I just want you to know what are the tools that you learn. And if you have any person who you want to ask, this bootcamp is teaching me these tools. Are them enough? Are them good? You can ask your friends, and then you can make sure that and that you're doing the right choice. Okay. So I'm gonna come to your questions later. Now somebody's raising the hand, but I'm gonna come to the questions later. At the end, as I said, like, we're going to answer all your questions one by one. Don't worry, guys. So what do we offer, guys? What do we offer during our bootcamp? So as I said, we give hands-on experience, right, on real projects. So these projects are the same way that are done in the real industry, that are done in the companies. So as I said, the mentor will be in your group. He will teach you how to, let's say, how to get the tasks, because when you work for a company, they're giving tasks to you every week. They're assigning tasks, and you're supposed to do them. How are you getting the tasks? How you put the points to the tasks? And then how, right? And all the meetings that are done every week or multiple days a week, which are, we teach agile methodology. Then, of course, we also, during these real life scenarios, you learn how to communicate with other team members, right? And how to communicate with other, let's say, with a team lead, or also with a scrum master and everybody there. So we teach all the tools and methods and strategies that are used in the current technology. So if you learn these tools, guys, you can go to a company and you can find a job. I know that different companies might use different tools, but the tools that we teach, guys, are enough for you to find a job. We have seen some cases when our student goes there and then they're using a different tool, and then still our student says that, okay, I know Java and I know Selenium, but they say, you know what, in our company, we're using C# or Python, and we're using a different, right? We're using Catalan, right? So these are some other tools. But still, if you know these tools, they will hire you, because you can easily learn other tools as long as you know the logic about testing, as long as you know the logic about everything there. So all the classes will be online, right? And it will be recorded. So as I said, like, our info session now is being recorded. We're going to share the video with you and you can watch it later. So the same thing is for our classes. You can watch it from your home, but of course, I don't want you to lay down. I want you to, let's say, follow with the teacher and to learn all the stuff and practice all the stuff. During our bootcamp, we have training and, as I mentioned, mentorship system, which and support, which will help you. So during our classes, we have a teacher which is teaching, but of course, we have a couple of assistants which are helping the students that are stuck, that are behind, that are having problems. Even after the classes, if a student has a problem, we have a channel there in our Slack, which they can ask their questions, and our mentor will jump and help them with the problem that they have. And as I said, like, after we're done with the bootcamp, or even during the bootcamp, we teach them, right, about preparing for the interviews, to prepare the resumes, and we prepare them for the market, how to apply for the jobs and everything. And after it's done, after they are looking in the market, of course, we have a lot of students that are working in this testing industry as of right now, in the IT industry, and of course, different recruiters. So we'll try to help you to make sure that you are finding a job in the in the industry. And at the end, as I said, our job placement team, right, they will support you during the job market process and to help you how to make sure that you're getting the most from your resume and to get the most from your offers and everything to maximize your compensation. So these are the things. Now, this is one of the most important things, guys, of the bootcamp. So as I said, it will start on November 26th, which is next Sunday. But I want you to note down this schedule because this is very important. During these times, guys, I strongly suggest you to be available if you want to join the bootcamp, of course, to be available, to be able to watch the classes. So we have classes on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. 3 hours Tuesday, 3 hours Wednesday, 3 hours on Thursday. Also on Saturday and Sunday from 11 a.m. in the morning until 3 p.m. in the afternoon. So 4 hours on Saturday, 4 hours on Sunday. So all these times here are Eastern time, so New York or New Jersey time. If you are in a different time zone, make sure that you do your calculation. If you are in Chicago, maybe it's from 6 to 9, and then this is from 10 to 2, right? So depending on wherever zone you are, make sure that you do the calculations. And I strongly suggest you that during these hours, class hours, to be available to watch the classes, to practice everything with the teacher, because during those times you can ask questions and you can learn better. If you have an emergency, if you cannot join one of the classes, it's okay because that's going to be recorded. It will be shared with you. You can watch it later. But of course, right, the best way to get the most from the bootcamp is to be on class during the class hours. And as I said, right, even later you can watch them, but definitely I don't suggest you to skip classes. So if there is a class, and then let's say if you missed the class because some problems that you had, that's okay because you're humans. You definitely have to watch the recording before the next class. Otherwise, you're going to skip a couple of classes and then you're not going to be able to catch up if you skip classes. So I mentioned earlier, right? So for this bootcamp, guys, you don't need to have any background, right? You don't need to have any IT background. So you can do the bootcamp without a background. But of course, what you need the work authorization. As I mentioned earlier, depending on the country that you're gonna looking for a job, definitely there you have to have a work authorization. 2, you need to be able to speak English, to understand. You don't need to have a perfect English, but as long as you can understand, you can grab the information, and then in the interviews, if you are able to explain those information, you can have an accent, that's okay. But as long as you're able to communicate, that's very important. So these are the second thing. So 1 is the work authorization, 2 is the English. And 3rd, which is even most important, is your dedication, your commitment. If you take the bootcamp seriously, guys, I'm telling this one to you up front. If you say, you know what, let me see what happens, I want to try, I don't suggest you to try. I suggest you to try if you really believe that you want to do something, if you really want to change your career, if you want to change your life, definitely try to the bootcamp. If you're not going to take it seriously, guys, I don't suggest you to waste your money. I don't suggest you to waste your time because you're not going to be able to find a job. And I don't want 200 students and at the end only 10 of them find a job. I want 50 students and possibly all 50 of them find a job. That is better for me. Okay. So now I'm going to invite our alumni. Okay, let me just make her a panelist. Let me stop sharing. Hi, Bushra. How are you doing?
You hear me? Hello, I'm good, Eliam. How are you doing?
Good. So you look happy. Are you happy with the new job or what?
Oh yeah, of course. I just started like it's been probably a couple of weeks, but I'm so happy right now. Yes. I'm sorry. It should be more professional, but my background is like kind of restaurant. I'm sorry for that.
It's okay. It's okay. So as long as you share your experience with them, they will ask. I hope that they will ask their questions to you, and you can share your experience during the bootcamp, after the bootcamp, and now that you've been working. I know that you have been working only for 2 weeks, and maybe you don't have too much experience in the work, but at least you can share the experience during the bootcamp.
Sure, of course. Like anything you want me to share.
So as of right now, just explain how was the bootcamp? Was it difficult? Were you able to do? Did you have any background? And then of course I'm going to get their questions and I'm going to ask them to you. But just I don't know in general, what was your feeling in general during the bootcamp?
All right. So Bushra, I don't have a experience as IT background or something, but I was graduated as a geophysical engineer from my country. Well, after that, I didn't work as an engineer, and then I became a flight attendant to travel the world. Great experience. And then I moved to the United States, and one of my friends was a stat at that time. He graduated from another boot camp and during the coronavirus, and then he started working as an estate. And I was like, he's making six figures. He's so happy. He's working from home. I was like, would I ever do that? Like, should I just make a little search and something? And then I did my own research, and I was like, I'll definitely gonna try, give it a chance. And I found NeoTech like when I was researching, and I get in touch with you, Isam, Ahmed, like all of you. And then I was thinking that was the best fit for me. The time schedule, like everything was great fit for me. And you guys was like so easy to, reach out to Isam if I have any questions. And um, that's why I was like, okay, it looks great. So let me just get some info sessions like this. And then I joined your info sessions and everything looking perfect. And I started. Like a year ago, I was in your shoes, guys. Anybody is watching this right now. And right now, I can't believe that I changed my life literally. And working as a QA, like, this is going to be my first corporate job, like from 8 to 5, regular lifestyle. It's so different for me, but also it's so exciting. And I'm ready for my new life and already like having great experience with my team and with my company. I'm happy so far. And bootcamp was intense. It was challenging because it's not easy. I never did code before. I never like interested in computer before. I was like so social, like doing my flight attendant job. I was thinking I may become a pilot. Like it was easier for me to think about it because I was already in the field, like aviation. But I was never thinking like working with a computer like whole day. But after I started, it took some time for me to understand everything. At first, I was like, what we are doing right now? Like nothing makes sense at first, but by time I realized like soft skills are so important. Like recording yourself is so important. Like everything Ihsan and Ahmed mentioned, like literally during interview, I understand how important it is. So yeah, also try to keep updated with the lessons. Like I try to watch everything on time. I try to attend the classes, um, the practice, everything. So I sacrificed from working full time. I did have a chance to, give up working for a while. And right now I'm getting the payoff. So I'm happy for this. I mean,
Okay.
it was not easy though.
That's perfect. Of course, you have to study, you have to learn, because to change your life, it never comes easy, right?
No.
So one question that Robert is asking is, did you have any background in IT before joining? Because he's a little bit afraid if he could do it or not. What do you suggest to him?
No, not at all. Like I was just using computer to do Google search or something, like to shopping or something. No IT background at all. My engineering degree is not related to IT. No.
And do you think that he that doesn't have any background, he should be able to do it as long as he studies and takes it seriously, right?
Sure. Perfectly fine. Yeah. One of my friends is graduated from arts and history. One of my friends didn't even have a bachelor's degree. I mean, it really doesn't matter. Like if you find a good fit for yourself, of course.
Yeah. Another question is from Aziz is, what challenge did you face at the beginning, and what advice would you give to us, our, let's say, new students with no IT background? So what were the difficulties at the beginning, and then what do you suggest them to study even more?
Yeah, sure. So for me as an adult person, like I started because I graduated from college like 10 years ago, and studying was so hard for me. Like focus on something, like concentrate, like study. I was like, I didn't even study that much during my college, literally, like especially during graduation from boot camp. I studied more than I study in college. So at first it was hard for me to study and take it seriously, of course, because it was looking like, okay, I can do it. I'm just watching the video, but it's not enough. Of course, you have to practice. And the best advice I can give, like, soft skills are so important. You definitely need to record yourself. Like, they say it because in your behalf, like, you have to do it. Don't feel embarrassed to share with the people. Like, just record, like, speak in the video, like, like you are doing interview. And it was challenging for me at first because the virtual interviews were like so different for me. And so I will take it more seriously at first, soft skills especially. Even if it doesn't make sense, try to understand everything because it won't make sense at first. But after you take the group sessions, like group team playing, the project, team project, it's gonna make more sense. Like after you are doing your own project. So studying and watching everything on time if it's possible, because you have to keep yourself up to date with the boot camp.
Yeah,
it will be good.
So that they understand. So we have technical classes, guys, on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. We have technical classes which we teach coding, and we teach them every class. And once a week on Wednesday, we have we call it STLC class or soft skills, where we teach what are the terminology that are used, how to talk in the interviews, and how to talk in the company when you work. So that class, sometimes some of the students, they don't take it seriously because they think it's easy, but that is very important, because when you go to the interviews, you need to be prepared to talk, because at the interview they're going to ask you questions, and you need to be able to explain yourself and to explain everything that you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Perfectly. So we're using MacBook or Windows during the boot camp?
So I was using MacBook for all my life. Right now, my company gave me Microsoft, like Windows, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take my time to understand and like get used to use it. Like, yeah, it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, during the boot camp, of course, we teach the classes with one of the teacher has a MacBook, one
Both.
of them has Windows, so it doesn't matter. Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
So how helpful? So Maria is asking, how helpful was the instructors or mentors during your study?
Oh, like they were so helpful. Like whenever I have a question, at first I was not studying. I can't lie. I'm gonna be honest to you guys. Like I was not the best student. Like couple months later, I start to take it like more seriously. Like almost we were about to graduate like in 2-3 months. I took it more seriously, and I'm a usually not last minute person. So I studied harder at the end, and whenever I have a question, like for example, from the first Java classes, I reach out one of my instructor or my mentor, and they were more than happy to help you in any way, like with any question. Doesn't matter like if it's right now about the class or like if it's like 10 classes before, it really doesn't matter.
Yeah. So by the way, guys, don't take her advice about being lazy at the beginning. You have to start strong at the beginning, because the more you study at the beginning, the more fun you have, and the more easier will be in the upcoming months. Yeah.
Definitely. Right now I'm struggling studying more, and at the same time working. Like it's harder right now. Don't take it from me.
Yeah. And by the way, also, right, during the boot camp, as I said, like you were working and you were able to reduce your working hours maybe during the boot camp.
Yes.
So there are a lot of students who during the boot camp, they work and they keep up their schedule and they continue with the boot camp. It's able to do it, but the more you give time to the boot camp, the easier it will be, and the better will be, let's say, the salary at the end. So there's a question about work authorization, which it's not right now. So Erhan is asking, how was your interviews generally? He means the companies. Do you think that so were you able to prove that you have experience during the interviews? Was it easy or difficult for you to be able to show that you know those tools and you have that experience?
So I think I'm pretty experienced to answer this question because I had a lot of interviews with the best companies, with the startups, but like I literally have great interviews, but also so hard interviews. Like they literally push me to understand if I'm really experienced or like if I'm just making up the stories. So um, it really depends on the company. Startups usually want someone really experienced and wants you to prove yourself during the interview. Recently, my company didn't even ask me any technical questions, but like I had very hard interviews like before. For example, with Walmart, they want me to um, code like during the interview, and it was not easy for me. So like it really depends, and you're gonna guys definitely figure out like when you graduated from the boot camp, you're gonna have enough interview questions to prepare yourself.
Okay, that's perfect. By the way, so there are some questions. So if you want to leave, so
Sure.
you give shorter answers so that you can leave earlier.
I mean, I love to speak about my experience. So go
Oh yeah,
ahead, no
that's
worries.
perfect.
I have
I
15
mean,
more
it's good.
minutes.
It's good for me. If you have anything, if you want to leave. So, by the way, and also another thing is, did they care about your college background? That you didn't have any background in as a software tester or let's say computer science?
Nothing related to computer, nothing. Just my engineering degree, but it's not related to IT or anything. No coding in my life.
So the companies, did they ask you about your as I said, like that's the question. So since they don't have any college background, right? So do they ask you if you have any computer science background, or as you mentioned earlier, your friends have, I don't know, like a history degree or other degrees? So do the companies generally care about the degrees?
So yes and no. Recently, my company checked my bachelor's degree because I put it on my resume. So they wanted to, check if it's like, I don't know, like they just want me to share it, and I did. But like, not, they didn't ask me if it's related to computer science. No, I never heard any of my friends that asked like some questions like this. No,
Yeah, that's
like
cool.
whatever you put on your resume, of course, like
Yeah, so if
if
you
you want to
say that
show.
you are graduated from a college, you have to prove it. But if you don't,
Yeah.
so, and I can say that there are some companies, they want you to have a college degree. There are some companies that might also want you to have a master's degree, but their number is very low. Generally, most of the companies, they don't care about your degree, or even if you have an unrelated degree, still, as long as you can prove it, that's okay with them.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
so wow, Jamal is also a former flight attendant, and he says that hearing your opinion makes me happy. He has the same path. So
Nice.
how long does it take to find a job after completing the boot camp, and was it challenging?
It was challenging because you're gonna learn, guys. I was early bird. I graduated like first. I was expecting to land in a job like in couple weeks. So I was applying. I was like so happy, and I was thinking I'm gonna find a job like as soon as possible. Well, it didn't happen. I felt so demotivated. Like I literally got therapy sessions from Ahmed and Ihsan sometimes. So my mood was so down. I lived ups and downs. I was like, okay, it's not gonna happen. But then I took a little break. Maybe I shouldn't, but I did. I have to. And then during summer, I didn't apply anywhere. But then after summer, like September, October, I started to apply. And when I was just like so cool, like I was like, okay, if it happens, it happens. Like I'm just applying. I just want to find somewhere which is good fit for me. And it happened like easily. I don't know, manifesting. I'm gonna romanticize a little, but it happened. But anyway, if it if it's not happened like recently, I will keep applying. Literally, I will never give up. Like, of course, like I will take some breaks, but like I will never give up. I was so determined that I'm gonna find a job. Yeah.
By the way, right now, are you motivating the friends who didn't find a job yet, or you're not helping the others?
Yeah. They a little motivated because they saw a real result in front of like their eyes. They are so happy for me, and they be like, okay, we're gonna keep applying. Then I'm like, definitely, like, but applying also a full-time job, I was taking it so seriously. Like full time, like I was applying 7 to 5 p.m., literally 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. And I was taking interviews like every day, or like in a schedule. Like I was doing the phone call interviews, during the interviews, everything. And it was literally a full-time job, but I believed it, and I don't know, make it until you fake it until you make it, or like I made it. I mean,
That's
if you want
perfect.
something so bad, you definitely gonna have it. Definitely.
That's perfect. So Darius is asking, did you feel that you were prepared for the job from the bootcamp?
Oh yeah, definitely. Also the description of the job, like job description, was like so aligned with my with the tools that I learned from the bootcamp, the testing that I learned from the bootcamp, everything. So related. Even right now, I feel I still go back to our, you know, um, NeoTech Academy videos and everything. So I still get some help from the bootcamp. It's definitely so related with the job. The interview questions as well. The questions you already learned, like you already have experience.
Perfect. And Duncan is asking, if it's not too personal, how much are you making as a software tester? This says.
I know it's so exciting, and like everybody's so curious about it. And I'm not gonna give you the certain numbers, but definitely 6 figures, and makes you happy. Yeah, makes you happy.
It's 100,000 plus, right? That's what you're.
Yes,
Six
yes, yes,
figures,
yes.
so that not everybody knows maybe the terminology, but it's 100,000 a year plus, right?
Yeah. Also the benefits. So it's
Yeah.
pretty
So are you?
satisfying.
Is it a full-time job, or is it or let's say, is it a contractual or
It's a full-time job, like directly with the company.
directly with the
Yeah, I'm a
company?
full-time employee. Yeah.
And you get in all the benefits like insurance and stuff, right, from the company?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, perfect. So now a question, how long does it take to find a job? So I can answer this one. As she said, there are some people who are lucky and can find a job after the bootcamp is done in 2 or 3 weeks. And I can say most of the students, they find a job in around 2 months, but sometimes it may take you longer depending on how seriously you took the bootcamp. And if you give a break at the end and stuff like that, it can also push it to 4 or 5 months. So around 2 to 3 months is the normal time when people find a job. And as I said, sometimes you can be lucky and find it in 2 or 3 weeks. Okay, so another question, again, the same thing. How long did it take? And then also you said that your new job is using like exactly the same tools that you learned, or let's say similar tools that you learned in the bootcamp, right?
The job description was so related. It was like definitely the same tools, but they don't even use tools. And I'm the only QA working there, hired only QA. So they gave me that option for me to choose the tools, whatever I'm comfortable with, or like they be like, even if you don't want to automate the test cases, you can do just manual testing. I'm like, all right, like
So
I'm gonna figure out.
is it a startup or no,
It's
like
not a startup, but it's an old school manufacturing company. Their system pretty old school. That's why they try to make it more, like new with the new systems. They try to integrate it.
trying to
So
update the system and stuff, right?
update the system. Yeah, exactly. That's why they be like open to anything new.
Perfect. So a question here is, how many times did you apply for jobs? So let's say how many job applications you did and how many interviews you had. If you can give us just like around numbers.
Oh, numbers. Yeah, like I'm not good at numbers, like because I was not tracking my applications to the jobs. Maybe I applied one company like 10 times. I don't know. Literally, I don't know. I was just like applying, like it's a game, it's my second job. But I was applying when I first started, like almost 100 jobs a day, through LinkedIn, Indeed, everything, everywhere, Dice, any platform that I find, Glassdoor, everywhere. So, like it also went down like by time, because I applied a lot of jobs at the first, and then I keep applying whenever they post a new job. But like by time I was applying daily, maybe 20, 30. And like recently, on September, when I started again applying, I was just applying like it's my hobby. I was just watching YouTube videos and applying at the same time. Like, don't even look at the location. I was just like, okay, send my resume, send my resume. So, it is. I mean, I was so determined at first. I got the best interviews at first, which I regret. And when I'm experienced and like I was a great interviewer at the end, I mean, I got like less interviews, but like it's still great companies and like it's still 6 figures. So I don't really mind and like just keep applying.
That's
You
perfect.
still have 1 year though.
Also in the future, you can still continue applying and get maybe multiple offers. So yeah, are you working remotely or are you in the office?
So the thing is, they want to see me at the office, but they gave me 6 months to relocate. So I still have a couple of months to work from home, which is great. Like working from home is great, but yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'm gonna move to Georgia, or maybe I'm still applying, and I'm more determined this time and more confident actually. So if I can better opportunity, yeah, in remote.
That's also
maybe.
good when you have an offer, or that's when you start working in your pocket, let's say, then it's easier.
Exactly.
You're even more confident that it's like you're not like scared anymore because you already found the job, and that's very good. And then you said you might relocate if needed.
I mean, yes, because I don't want to just like quit the job because they want me to relocate. It doesn't make sense since it's a full-time employee. I'm like, I may think about it. I'll see. I have a couple months. I'll figure out.
Okay, perfect. And then you said that the company is working 8 to 5, right? The normal schedule, normal hours, right?
Yes, 8 to 5.
Okay, perfect. So there are a lot of questions here. Maybe we can answer the questions even later. So was it hybrid or online? You said that as of right now you're working online, but you're gonna go there. I mean, you can relocate or maybe find another job. You said that you were working during, so I'm going to give short answers so that I answer all of them. So you were working during the boot camp, but also you were able to reduce the hours towards the end. So what kind of advantage you offer to find a job? So, I mean, I don't know what this one is asking, but and then I said again, like another question, is it remote or not? So these are old questions. I believe that Python is not on the course. So yeah, so we're not teaching Python in the company. You're using something else, but as long as you have this experience, it's good. So I'm sorry to take too much of your time. It's because you also wanted to explain your experience and everything. We told her that we need you only 15 minutes, but she has been here for like, I don't know, more than 20 minutes or maybe half an hour. Thank you very much for joining, Bushra, and maybe we're going to invite you again in the future. And also, I tell you to continue applying because you can get better offers now that you have experience and you are relaxed. And also, maybe you didn't learn during the bootcamp, but you should have taken notes which companies you're applying and everything, because to keep track of the applications, right?
I know. It was one of the advices from you guys, but like, I'm not a good student, I'm telling you, but I'm learning by experience. I'll be better.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining, and have a good one.
Of course. Thank you so much. Good luck, and hope you have great opportunities with NeoTech. Thank you. Have a great night.
Bye-bye. Good night. So guys, we can continue. Thank you, Bucha, for coming. And now we continue with the next part of the presentation. So we talk about, and of course, if you still have questions, guys, at the end you can re-ask your questions, and I'll try to answer your questions. So as I said, even right during the bootcamp and also after the bootcamp, we help with job placement. So what is job placement? For you to apply for a job, for you to prepare the resumes, for you to prepare for the interviews. And while you're in the market, we also try to motivate you, as Bushra mentioned, right? During the bootcamp, our job placement team, they're calling her saying, are you applying? Where are you? Why are you not there yet? So things like that, just to make sure that she's applying and she's able to find a job. So as I said, we're going to help with the resume building, soft skills. When we talk about soft skills, guys, is when you are explaining yourself, when you are talking about not technical stuff, but the behavioral stuff of the interviews. As we said, we have one-on-one mentoring, right? Even we have our mentors with their group. Also, we have our assistants, which help you during the classes and also outside of the classes. Mock interviews, which is the part where we make sure that the student is ready to start applying. And then also we do classes about how to apply for jobs, where to apply for jobs, when to apply for a job. So we give a lot of information about the market, right? We give a lot of knowledge about the market. You can apply in Dice, in Indeed, in ZipRecruiter. So there are different platforms, and we have a special team which helps the students apply. And as I said, we have a lot of alumni which maybe in their companies, they're in the job opening, they share the place with our students. Okay, so there are a lot of opportunities there. And as I said, we have a team which will help you even after we are done with during and also after you're done with the bootcamp. So there are a lot of available jobs in the market right now. So I just also wanted to share some of the offers that our students got during recently. So this is an offer that one of our students to start on November 27th, and the salary is 125. Another one, right? Just some sample examples. We also made sure that we cover their information, their names and their addresses and everything. So in Georgia, start as a QA analyst with 105 yearly. And of course, these are the benefits, right, that are given to the employee. So another one, you see here, the salary is 95, so it's not 100, but it's almost there. And of course, as I said, sometimes it's good for the student to get an offer, because when you get an offer, then it's even better for you, right? It's even better for you. We have one of our students, she got 7 offers. So when you get the first one, you have more confidence, you have more, it's easier for you, right? It's easier for you than to get better offers, because those recruiters, they can sense your stress, they can sense your when you're scared or not. So another job offer, which was from August with 100,000 yearly. Another example here, which is hourly based. So there are some companies, they prefer to give you hourly based salaries. So when you calculate the yearly salary, is generally this times 2, and then it's the yearly salary. Here there's another one which is 120. So different range. So as I said, like from 80, 90 to 130, there are different ranges of the salaries that our students got offers. So these are real offers given to our students. As I said, we are just covering their names and their information, but these are real offers. So let me go back to our presentation, and I'm going to answer your questions, guys. So don't worry. So these are some of the companies, right? These are some of the companies that our students are working there. So they're working in CVS Pharmacy, AWS, Walmart, and different startups, which maybe are not recognizable, but different types of companies our alumni are working there. Let me close this one. So now let's come to the most important part of the info session. So this is something that you're waiting for, and to see what is our pricing and everything. Maybe you're also researching our bootcamps, which I strongly suggest you to do, and to get information about the bootcamp. So some of the bootcamps, they prefer to charge you $10,000, $15,000, right, upfront. There are some bootcamps that say, you know what, you don't pay anything upfront, but you pay for 2 years, you pay, I don't know, 10% of your salary, which is maybe higher. Our bootcamp, we decided to share our risk. So the payment for our bootcamp, it's split in 2 parts. The first part is the tuition fee, which is during the bootcamp. It's $4,900 for the, right, which can be done in 7 installments, right, interest-free installments. And the second part of the fee is 85% of first month salary. Let us say that your salary yearly is $100,000. So 1 month is $8,000. So 85% of that $8,000 is, let's say 6,000, I don't know, 900, something like that. And then of course that one also will gonna be collected from you with installments. So you start working, you are, I don't know, you spend a month there, and everything is settled down, and then after that you start paying that part again with 4 installments. So 2 things. One is the first part, which is $4,900, which is the first part of the bootcamp. It is during the bootcamp. And the second part is 85% of your first month's salary. This is only after you find the job. And we are very sure about it. We are very confident about it. That's why we share our risk with you, and we make sure that you are paying that part only after you find a job. And of course, if you don't find a job, you're not going to pay the second part. And again, both of the payments, there can be done with installments. You can pay them with monthly installments. As of right now, guys, this weekend is or next weekend is Black Friday. So for Black Friday sale, from this $4,900, you have a $300 discount, so it goes to $4,600. So, and then of course that one will be calculated in it will be calculated with monthly installments. So this is our Black Friday sale. Please make sure that you schedule a call with our let's say sales experts, and they will help you decide about your payments and everything. Another thing, guys, is that we have other bonuses. So if you are a group with 2 or 3 people, right? If you are a group of 2 people, both together, you are getting $100 bonus, right? Again, from this bootcamp fee, right? So from this bootcamp fee, you can get $150 each if you're a group of 2. If you're a group of 3 friends, you get $200 each. And then if it's a larger group, if you're, let's say, I don't know, 5 friends which want to join the bootcamp, please make sure that you make a call to our sales specialist and then talk to them and make sure that you are getting a discount because you are with a group of friends. Why are we giving a discount if you're a group of friends? First of all, because there are multiple people joining. That's one of the things. But one of the best things that we prefer when there is a group of people is because you are working together. You're helping each other. If one of you loses the motivation, the other one will help you. If one of you is behind, the other friend will help you, right? So working together is, I don't know, like if you ever went to the gym, right? When you go to a gym, you need a gym buddy, a person you go together to the gym and work, because people get tired, people lose their motivation. That's why you need a friend there. So if you have a group of friends and you want to join the bootcamp, definitely talk about your discount there. So how to schedule, right? How to schedule a call with us. So you can send an email to team@neotechacademy.com. That's one of the ways. Another way, you can call directly, but we definitely suggest you to schedule a call by going to this website. So go to neotechlive.call over there, right? Let me just try to do it here right now. Just 1 second, guys. So neotechlive.call. neotech.live/call. And then here you can schedule a call. You can say, you know what, I'm available on Monday at 2 a.m., right? So here it is the website, which is our website. And then you can go and schedule a call for Tuesday at 10:45. And then you continue, give the information. And then if you give the phone number and everything, though, our sales specialist will be able to call you, okay? So that is the best way to schedule a call with us, so that somebody will call you and will definitely talk to you. If you are ready, if you have made your decision, go to this one here, right? Let me copy this one. Okay, you go to this website, right? To go to our website, neotechacademy.com, apply. You do your application here, you put your information. Please, guys, if somebody referred you, right, make sure that you put who referred you, so that you might get an extra discount if you are referred by somebody, one of our alumni or somebody. So make sure that you are also putting the reference number here. Okay, so there are different ways to get the discount. Make sure that you are trying to get the discounts from when you apply. And as I said, right, you can schedule a one-on-one call. So why would you suggest you to pick NeoTech Academy? It is because we are passionate. We're motivated about teaching our students to help them, right, learn during the bootcamp and then to find a job at the end. This program is tested and proven. So you have a lot of examples in the previous, if you watch our other info sessions, you have a lot of other alumni which came here and shared their experience how they were doing the boot camp. If for some of them it was difficult, for some of them it was a struggle, for some of them it was easy, and at the end they were able to find a job. We had different types of students, male, female, young, old, so all of them, right, have different experiences, and they were able to find a job at the end. So we are constantly trying to make our curriculum even better, to put different tools, to put different challenging coding and stuff, so that, right, the next batch is even better than the previous one. And we are here to help you build your career from the ground up. So you come to our bootcamp with no experience, but in 6 months, you're really going to have the experience and you're going to be able to land a job at the end. Okay. So if you have questions, guys, I am very happy to answer your questions right now. I'm going to. So NeoTech alumni, are they applying job as juniors or seniors? They're applying as senior QA. Of course, they learned the tools during the bootcamp. They know a lot of things. And when they apply as software engineers, right, as software test engineers, so they apply with as seniors. Why? Because they know all these tools. And in the interviews, when the interviewer asks you, do you know this tool? Do you know that tool? They see that you really have that experience. Guys, I have said, I mean, I don't know if I'd like to say this one here, but we had a student who had experience in his resume, and there was a recruiter. He said, can you please make your experience 7 years, because you know a lot of things, and I cannot sell you with 5 years of experience. So even the recruiter from the company itself, they want you, right, to be able to, as long as you have the knowledge and as long as you can do their project, you can show the yes, so you can show the experience, and we're going to help you about that one, guys. We're going to back you up, don't worry. So when you say if you land a job, I'm saying that you are paying the bootcamp, guys. You're paying the tuition fee, which is during our bootcamp, and then you are looking for a job. If you're looking for a job, the second part, guys, you're not going to pay if you're not going to find a job. We definitely know that you will going to be able, instead of saying that pay 15,000 upfront and we don't care if you find a job or not, we're splitting this one so that we're going to push you to make sure that you are let's say looking for a job, and you're finding a job, because whenever you find a job, then we get the second part. That's why we're pushing our students to look for a job. So we have some European students, right? And then what is the difference between the European students and the US students? So the market is a little bit different. Also, the pricing is different for European students. So I suggest you to make a call and then specify that you are in Europe. And then, of course, the pricing is different because the time doesn't match for you, and there are some difference with European students. So yes, there are some differences there. Among the graduates of the last year, what is the percentage of the graduates that get a job? So let me tell you this, guys. If 100 students, right? If 100 students are graduated from the bootcamp, I can say that 80% find a job. Why? Because some of them, they quit, they lose their motivation. They don't look, as Bushra said, some of them, they say, you know what? I want to take a month off. I want to go back to my country to see my mom, and then I'm going to come and continue to look at a job. That's why there are some students that don't find a job. But I tell you this one, guys, if you're constantly looking for a job, applying, you're definitely going to find a job at the end. That's, I can say 99%. I don't want to say 100, but 99% of the students who constantly look for a job, take that part also seriously, they will definitely find a job at the end. So the market during this year, so there were ups and downs in the market. So I want to answer this question. So let's say at the beginning of the year, during March and April, when our batch 6 students were graduated, there was a little bit slow. But of course, there were a couple of students that found the job in 2 weeks. And of course, he was in one of our, Berk was in one of our info sessions. And then during the summer, it went better, and then it goes down. So depending, right, this year has been a little bit up and down. But of course, as I said, we have, I don't know, more than 50 students who have found a job during this time, even though, right, the market was maybe slow. And we believe that after January, generally after January, the market opens up again, and the students that are recently in our bootcamp, which are batch 5, and they are students right now, they will definitely start looking for a job in January, and I hope that they're going to have a better outcome. Is it really slow? Yes, it was during this year. It was a little bit slow, but as I said, a lot of students, they were able to find a job. And of course, we always hope that it will be better. Guys, I don't know what will happen tomorrow, right? I cannot be Nostradamus here and pretend to know the future, but I can tell you this. During COVID, guys, when Corona started, everybody thought that everything is down. And that was the time when we started our bootcamp. We had students during COVID time. They learned the tools. They were able to find a job. And I can tell you this, guys, that during COVID, it was the time that it was easiest for our students to find a job, because most of them were finding a job from home. They didn't need to relocate, and that was a good thing. But right now, a lot of companies, they want the people to go to the company, to go to the office, or maybe hybrid. So it goes up and down. That's always with the market, and I cannot promise anything about the future, but I believe that next year it will be better. Yes, so it depends, right? So maybe 3 years ago it was very easy. Maybe this year was a little bit difficult, but whoever took it seriously, they were definitely able to find a job. Do you have a lecture, MacBook or Windows separate? So we are teaching the classes with Java and Eclipse. Those tools, they are installed in Mac. Those are installed in Windows. You don't need, it doesn't matter. They're both the same. So I'm teaching the class with Mac, and another instructor is teaching the class in Windows. It makes no difference. The students are following. So if there are some small differences, of course, when I teach the class with Mac, they see what is different. So there are some small differences, but generally, we don't care about the if it's a Windows or a Mac. We care about the tools that we're using, and those tools are used in both platforms the same. As of today, we had a class, SQL class, and they were using MySQL Workbench. Windows students and Mac students, they're using both the same. It didn't matter anything. It's like when you have a presentation, for example, right? When you have as I have my presentation here, I have a Mac. I open the presentation on Mac. Another presenter opens this one in Windows. It doesn't make any difference. Okay, guys. Any other questions that I skipped? I'm sorry if I missed any of your questions, but she was explaining, so I didn't want to interrupt Bushra, but I think also it was very good for her to explain all the details about her experience and her job and everything. So any other questions, guys? Do you have questions? Do you think it's possible to work full-time and study during the bootcamp? As I mentioned, right, that is a very valid question. Most of our students are working during the bootcamp. So let me go here. That's why our schedule is like this. Why do we have our schedule during night hours? Because during the day, the students are working, and then they come to the and watch the bootcamp. During the weekends, they watch the classes. If there were some of them, they're working during Saturday, of course, they can watch the class in the afternoon, right? So those are those type of students. Of course, towards the end of the bootcamp, I suggest them, if they can lower the working hours and concentrate even more on the bootcamp, it would be even better. But of course, we have had a lot of students who had, let's say, worked and were able to find a job during the bootcamp. Another thing, guys, that I can tell you is, for example, I had a student. He got some money, some loan from his, I don't know, brother-in-law or something. And during the bootcamp, during 6 months, he didn't work at all, and he used those money and he was able to find a job. Those are these kind of people that do it this way. It's up to you, and I cannot enforce anything on you. Yes, of course, right? You can have your concerns, and you have to consider those. But as I said, right, even during this time that the market was slow, let's say, right, during summer it was a little bit better. A lot of students, they got offers. Maybe next month it was a little bit low. So that's our normal things. But of course, as I said, if you apply a lot, then you're definitely going to be able to find a job. I will be a student for the next batch, and I'm already doing self-learning, so I know most of the basics. During the batch, will you have a group? No, we don't have such a thing. We only have one group. We start from the beginning, right? So you learn all the things one by one. If you know something, it's good for you, because you will have, you'll not have difficulties at the beginning. But of course, right, during the bootcamp, we have one schedule, we have one calendar, and it goes for all the students. It's not possible for us to teach different groups because it's impossible. So yes, I'll be one of the teachers. Generally, guys, I do the review classes. So let's say you learn Java during Tuesday, like Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, you're learning something new. And on Sunday, we don't learn anything new. We make sure that we review, right? We review everything that was taught during the week. So generally, I prefer to do the reviews because I make sure that I cover everything that was taught during the week. But of course, I have seen students who they're skipping, let's say, the Thursday class or Saturday class because you know what? Everything will be reviewed on Sunday. No, guys, I don't suggest you to skip any classes, even though we're going to review everything. It's better for you to practice because that's how you learn. Monthly payment is possible with credit cards or cash only? No, it's possible with credit cards and also with debit cards. Yes, so you can talk to the. I mean, I don't know too much information about the payments, but of course you don't need to pay cash. Of course, you can pay with. When I say with installments, means that you can pay monthly, right, with your debit card or credit card. I don't know if it's done with a credit card, there is maybe a 3% fee, I believe. But if not, like you can make sure that ask everything to our accountant. So how many students do you have signed up for now? Those are very good questions, guys. And I'm very proud that this was one of the most effective info session. Bushra was very good. You had a lot of questions, and that's where I'm very happy when I see a lot of questions. So we have 100 students signed up so far. So of course we have a space, like we want not to pass 150. That is our maximum. But as of right now, we have 100 students, and we have had 100 and plus students in our previous batches, in batch 4 and batch 5. So we have 4 teachers which are teaching these classes here, this weekday classes, Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday. We have 4 teachers. During the class, we have 2 assistants which are helping the teacher. On Wednesday, we have soft skill classes, which are different teachers are teaching that. And then also we have, as I said, mentors. So we have 10 mentors, which is right for every group of 10 students, we have mentors. So if there are going to be more students, we might need to get maybe new mentors from our graduates. That's also possible. But as of right now, we have, so I can say we have 4 technical teachers. We have 6 assistants. We have 10 mentors, and of course, for the job placement, there is a totally different team which they will help with a job placement. So yes, that is, I don't know, you can make your calculations and calculate the ratio yourself. You have experience working as a QA tester in your country. So what is my advice to help you find a job? So of course I would tell you to apply. You need to know how to explain yourself. I don't know how good are you with your English. And if you only want to find the job, if you say, you know what, I know everything, but I only want to find a job, then you can only take our placement part, which is our second part here, right? Only this part. And then you say, you know what, I know everything. I don't need to take the bootcamp. And then you can definitely contact placement at NeoTech Academy. Okay, you see our admission specialist, he shared it. So you can contact placement at NeoTech, and we can only help you with the placement part if you don't need to take the bootcamp. That's possible because there are people who already have the knowledge and they just need to find the job. Then just contact the placement team. Any other questions, guys? This was very, very good and valid questions. So as I said, make sure that you call. Guys, also, there's something that, okay, I forgot to mention. Look at this one here, guys. I'm very sorry. This is one of the most important parts. So our bootcamp starts on November 26th. And then you make the first payment, which is $600, let's say, right? Or $700 the first month. And then you're going to continue with the next payments. We have our 30 days trial policy, and we are very proud of this one. So from November 26th until December 26th, guys, you can decide if you like the bootcamp or not. We have had a couple of students who like the bootcamp, but it says it's very intensive, it's not for me, or I don't have any background, it was difficult, I don't want to do it. So we refund 100%. So even the first payment that is done, we refund them as long as they decide during the first trial, right? During the 30 days trial. So during these 30 days, you pay the first month, then, right, during the first month, you try everything. And then we announced a couple of days before the December 26th, we say, what do you think, guys? Do you like the bootcamp? Do you want to continue? Do you think it's for you or not? If you want to continue, we continue with a second payment. If not, then we make sure that you announce and you talk to our accountant, and then you have to let's say be refunded, and then get out of the bootcamp if you don't like it, and you don't, and then that's okay with us. So another question is about the certificate. Of course, there are some certificates which we don't provide, because those are certificates given by the I don't know the terminology, ISPC or whatever, something like that. So you can get Java certificates, you can get Scrum Master certificates, and different certificates, but they are not necessary. So at the bootcamp, our bootcamp is not about giving you a certificate. Our bootcamp is about teaching you everything and you being able to find a job. If you have a certificate and if you don't find a job, it doesn't matter. I don't think that's a thing that you'd like. You'd like to find a job at the end. As I said, I mean, we can provide you a certificate, but I don't think it matters as long as, right, as long as you find a job at the end. That's what matters at the end of everything. I guess that's the answer. Any other questions? So I'm going to take one more question, guys, and then we're done for tonight. Student loan, I think that you can find, I mean, give a call. I don't know if our specialists, if they know anything about any companies we give student loans, but as I said, the thing that we provide is, right, the thing that we provide is being able for you to pay this part and the second part with installments, and this is interest free, so you don't pay any interest about it. But of course, about student loans, I don't have too much information. So as I said, give a call to our neotech.live call, and then they might direct you somewhere. Okay. Okay, guys. So it was very good. I got very good questions from you, and I hope that I answered everything. If you still have any questions, guys, make sure that before you decide, make sure that you make a call. And then if you decide, if you think that your bootcamp is for you guys, go to our website, neotechacademy.com/apply, and then make sure that you make your application. And as I said, even if you start and even if you make the first payment, still you have 30 days to decide about it. Yes, we're going to send an email to each of you that are joining this info session to make sure that you can rewatch it and maybe share it with your friends who are interested, or maybe you can rewatch it yourself. Okay, guys, I hope that this was very informative for you. Thank you for joining. Have a good night. Bye-bye.